All right, unlike the previous video, you're going to want to follow along and do this one with me because we're going to get really in depth and we're going to make these materials look even cooler than they did in the previous video. So I don't need this stuff right now. Let's keep it simple with the cube. And once again, we're going to add a material to this cube. So this should be like clockwork to you now at this point. The material tab right here, we can change our viewport so that we can see the material. And I'm fine with this. I don't want to change anything because I'm going to do something completely different to get this desired effect, to show you something really cool with these materials. So instead of creating materials myself, because I'm not a graphic artist and I don't know all the intricacies that go into that, I like to use other people's materials because other people's materials are going to be a lot better than mine, at least with my given skill set. So there is a very cool website you can go to, and it's called ambientcg.com. And what this website is basically it has all of these free materials that you can download and use in any of your Blender projects. So if you want to pause the video and take 30 seconds just to maybe type up some keywords and see kind of what they have to offer. For example, here are some sand materials. Here are some grass materials. Woods are pretty common too. But it doesn't just have to be nature things too, right? It could be, you know, some type of cloth or some type of fabric, depending on what you're modeling. So this website will be perfect for you to find materials for your objects, for your meshes, and really brings them to life. So I don't know why, but I really like sand. I like the grooves. I like all of the intricacies in this material. So I'm going to use sand for this demonstration. You can use whatever you want. But yeah, find a material and we're going to put that material on our cube. So the simplest way to do this is just click on the material that you're interested in, and you've got 8 different download options. Now, we don't need 8K, we don't need 4K, we don't even really need 2K resolution. I like to stick with the 1K PNG file. It's enough resolution for us. Anything more is probably just wasted and it might bog us down later on down the road. So I can download this material by clicking the 1K PNG. And you should see the download notifier pop up. Now on your school computers, this process may be a little bit different for you. In your downloads, you should be able to double click this folder. However, this folder needs to be extracted. You should see an extract all button, and you can't use any of these files until you press extract all. This takes the files and basically takes them out of this compressed folder that they're in, and it lets us use these files now. Now, chances are you're probably just in your downloads, and you should have 2 folders now. You should have the compressed one that you downloaded and this uncompressed one that you just extracted. So the compressed one we don't need anymore. You could delete it if you want, you can leave it, I don't care. This is the folder we're interested in. So how do I get this into Blender? How do I get this material into Blender? Well, here I am in Blender. Here I am in my material kind of panel. But there's actually a new and there's a second and much more advanced material panel. It's actually in the shading tab up here. If you click up here, you'll be taken to the shading window. And if you ever want to go back, you're used to the modeling one. So it's just a different window. So just don't freak out that you can't get back to your cube. All right, this is where all of the magic happens with materials and shading and UV unwrapping and all of this stuff. And we can't even get that in depth right now because we're going to take this slow. So I'm going to show you a really basic way to get this material onto your object in Blender. You should see this principal BSDF. This is called a node. This is just like all of the properties you saw previously in the material list, right? It's the exact same thing. except it's just in a different window and it's just in a different layout. Now, all of these properties, I still only want to concern myself with the base color. We know what the base color does. It lets us pick a color. But I don't want to pick a color. I want to pick this texture. So what you need to do is down in your workspace over here, I'd like to go on the left. You'll see why in a second. You can right click and you can add a node. And we're going to add a texture node. And in this drop down, which texture are we going to add? Well, we're just going to add an image for now. You can place this node anywhere in the workspace. Put it on the left. You'll see why in a second. Now all you need to do is open the folder you just downloaded and extracted. So mine was in my downloads. It was called Ground 090. So I'm just going to type in ground, and here we have Ground 090. So once you've found your folder, you can click into it and you'll see all of these files. And we can talk about a lot of these files later on. Let's keep things simple. The only file you need is the one that has your material name and ends with .color. So we have a displacement, we have a normal, we have a roughness map, we have ambient occlusion. We'll talk about those later. Let's just open the one that ends with color. Once I do that, you'll know nothing has changed with my cube yet. However, let me zoom in here. This node we just added has a color switch. And if you click and drag, you can hook this yellow switch up into the yellow switch of the base color. And once you've done that, you'll see that that image is now on your cube. Whatever texture you downloaded, you should see on your cube. Now, if your texture does not look cool, or if it doesn't look good, like maybe it's stretched or something like that, you may just need to play with some of these properties in order to make it look the way you want. For example, sometimes if you have a really small mesh and your texture is really big, it might be like really stretched and you can't really see the detail. I don't want to change too much because I kind of like how my texture looks right now, and I don't want to lose that. But yeah, just play around with those settings if you're not liking what you see. And so we have just taken the color map of that texture we downloaded and we've put it on our cube. So we didn't have to do anything, and now I've got this cube with this really artistic, cool, in-depth looking texture. Now I'm using sand. If I was really wanting to make a sand surface, I would play with those two new properties we talked about last video. For example, sand isn't very metallic. It's not metallic at all, so I should leave it at 0. But sand is pretty rough, so maybe I should turn this up a bit. And now you'll see that the light doesn't really reflect off of the surface as much as it did previously, right? If you had no roughness, you get a really glassy looking sand, and maybe this is like some type of material for a nice dining room table or something. But if you were really interested in just having sand as sand is on the ground, you would probably turn the roughness up just so that light isn't really making this look shiny and slippery. So there you have it. You now know about this website where you can download any texture you want, and you can put those textures on any of your objects or meshes in Blender. And just like that, you've unlocked a tool to make anything in Blender look exponentially cooler than you had the ability to before. So congratulations.